the NHL Draft, and the
Ooh.
lottery just happened. The 3.5% odds to get the first overall pick. The New York Islanders somehow get away with the number one overall pick. We can were you guys shocked with that in the first place? Were you shocked 10 went up to 1 in that case? Just yeah, I listen. This lottery is just like the NBA lottery now. It's going to be crazy all over the place, and you're going to see movement. Even Utah, like we just said, they moved from 14 to 4. Like that's a big move for them, which is great for their organization. But yeah, I just quickly on that. Do you guys think that, or were you guys shocked about how much movement there was?
I mean, I was shocked. I was rooting. I thought you guys had it. I thought even after which I will say, I know a lot of people were like, I'm confused about how the system works with the way they were showing it. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the way they presented it, the way they really built kind of the excitement going into that final ping pong ball being pulled out. I was like, okay, I have an idea actually of who has the best chances, who's actually pulling this out, and how I felt like everyone was involved. But at the same time, I can understand that people maybe didn't like it. But what were you gonna say, Justin?
So you took my question. That was gonna be my question. Like how you guys actually. I was gonna see what you guys thought about who people moving up in the draft, and then I was gonna ask you guys like how you actually thought of the draft lottery. This is the first time they actually did it live, where you actually got to see what's happening. The only thing that there was two things. One is kind of a nitpick thing where I wish that they had a board showing the odds moving. I think it would have been a lot simpler if you would have shown the updated odds with teams instead of where they originally were. Update the odds with the teams that might have the highest chances. Make it so it actually makes or looks you know what I mean? 1, 2, 3, whatever teams are eliminated, just put to the side, and then just have the highest odds down instead of the Islanders and the Penguins still were sitting at 9 and 10 on the other side of the board, and it was kind of confusing trying to figure out which side and who was where with what odds. Still, that was my nitpick. The one thing that I just didn't, I loved the anticipation. It just felt like, how can you go and do a draft lottery and the number one pick be the first thing that you do? Only because then after that, everyone just tunes out. You don't need to stay and watch the whole thing. The whole point was to build it up. So why give away the first overall pick first thing? Everyone can just leave. That there's no point in building it up at that point. True. Why did everyone want to stay and watch the second and rest of the draft order? You already know who got the first overall pick. That was just a weird thing. When I first saw the balls happen, I had no idea what was really happening. But I was like, is this for 16th overall? Are we going 1 through or 16 to 1? Is that how this works? That's the way I thought it was going to work, but apparently not. So yeah,
it was Monday night. And so I was working the Leafs game 1. And so we were in the studio. We had a TV on sort of on the side when we were running everything, and it was on mute watching the lottery. So I think that really factored in because we didn't hear anything that was going on. We were just seeing red lines across the screen and black lines and numbers. What is going on? And then they just had, oh yeah, the Islanders won. And I'm like, and we're all like, wait, did the Islanders win the lottery or did they win something else and they get moved up? And then they're interviewing, I'm not sure who it was. Again, I listened to it on mute, but they interviewed either an exexecutive or an owner with a hat on.
It was an amateur scout.
Really?
Their head of amateur scouting. Ken Morin, I think is his name.
Okay. No, that's good clarification. Yeah, and I was like, this is weird. They didn't have great odds. That doesn't mean they can't get it, but it threw me. So I think Elliot Friedman, I really like what he said. If they had put out maybe a 2-3 minute video, either a day before or even right before the draft to say, this is what you're expecting. This is how it should look. So fans maybe had a better understanding of what they were looking for. I thought that would have been a great idea, and shout out to Elliot Friedman for that. Yeah, I mean, as just quickly as a Sharks fan, like it's too bad you can't get the first overall pick. But I think there's still a lot of really good talent in the top. I really hope that the Sharks are able to get Matthew Schaefer. I don't know if he goes first to the Islanders. James Haggins is from Long Island, so I wonder if they go and grab him, being the hometown kid, and they need scoring. That there's going to be a whole speculation we can get into later, right? When they actually draft.
They need someone that's not going to leave.
Yeah, they're still salty about one Toronto Maple Leafs player that shall remain.
They gotta make sure Matthew Schaefer doesn't have any pictures if they take him with pajamas.
Yeah, seriously, I saw that take too. Just I think the one thing that about that point is, like, let's say this was the Connor McDavid draft, and they did like the first pick. Like everyone's like, oh, who's gonna get the first pick? And then 5 minutes in, you're like, okay, the Islanders got McDavid, like the biggest generational player ever. We already know in 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm not watching. It was a little strange how they did it. I felt like it could have been done better, but I agree, Brandon. It's fair that they shared the process. I think that was cool.
No, and I think you're right. Like, I think it's very fair to, if and I'm not saying you guys are, but like if you're a casual viewer and you turn that on for the first time, you're like, I don't know what's happening here. Like they're just doing a lottery basically. Who knows what the situation is? But like, yeah, like if they continue to do it, continue to educate people, like they maybe iron out some of the structure of the show. I think it was just different. It was fun to watch and it was cool. But in terms of the Islanders, yeah, they just need talent and they need to take the best player available basically at this point. And if that's a defenseman, they should do that because they've got some young prospects up and forward too. And they still got some work to do in my opinion, obviously with a bit of a shakeup going on in the front office. So